All right, let's dive straight into the deep end of Wotan's forbidden texts, because today we're talking about the Coronation of Chaos. And look, this isn't your typical story about a king grabbing more power. Oh no. This is about how one being decided to completely shatter the rules of reality, unleashing a cosmic order that is, well, terrifying. So, let's get into it.
And this quote from Woden really sets the stage for everything. I have given the children matches. Now we see if you can build a roof before they burn the house down. I mean, that's not a power fantasy, right? That's a mission statement. He's not just playing the game anymore, he's literally setting the whole board on fire and walking away.
So, that brings us to our first section, a Mad King's Edit. Now, you'd think the game plan here would be pretty straightforward, right? You find these ancient, forgotten gods, these shadows of the absolute, and you just absorb them, hoover up their power for yourself. But Wooten, he had something so much more twisted in mind.
So the big question is, was this about ascension or corruption? And the answer is just brutal. Instead of climbing the cosmic ladder, he decides to kick it over. He doesn't eat these old gods for a power-up. No, he takes them, cracks them open, and rewrites their very being. He unleashes them as something totally new, something active, and yeah, something incredibly violent.
And how does he do it? Well, this is where it gets wild. It's not just waving a wand and saying some magic words. He's basically treating reality itself like a computer program. He uses something called the violent grammar, which is just an amazing term, and combines the fundamental runes of reality with raw, violent gamma radiation. He's literally hacking the source code of these beings, a cosmic programmer gone rogue.
Okay, so this act of cosmic vandalism leads us right into part 2, the Court of the Mad King. This is where we get to meet the crew, the 4 old gods that Wotan turns into his personal pantheon of chaos. And believe me, when I say transformation, I mean it. These changes are radical.
First on the chopping block is Dervarsagar, the soothsayer. Okay, so picture this guy. He was the god of, well, of everything getting old and tired, the god of entropy. His whole vibe was just whispering, it's all gonna rust eventually. Super downer. So Wodan takes this cosmic apathy and turns him into the burning circle. He goes from passive decay to the literal embodiment of accelerationism. And the way he does it is just, it's so simple, it's scary. He just carves one rune, Kenaz, the rune for torch or fire, right onto the soothsayer's cloak, which is made of dead stardust. That's it, one symbol. And just like that, cosmic exhaustion turns into an inferno. So what's his new job description? It's pretty terrifying. He's not sitting around waiting for the universe to die anymore. He's actively grabbing the wheel of time and spinning it so fast that it catches fire. He wants to fast forward to the heat death of everything. And this puts him on a collision course with Derwyl, who's now got this impossible job of trying to hold reality together while this thing is trying to burn it all down. All right, next up in this nightmare lineup, Mephisto, the spirit of denial. Before, he was all about stagnation. His big sales pitch was a perfect utopia where nothing ever changes. Sounds peaceful, but also kind of dead, right? Well, after Wotan gets his hands on him, he becomes the corrosive mirror. Peace is off the table. Now he's all about actively rotting the very foundations of reality. So how's this happen? Wotan takes Mephisto's mirror and infects it with the rune Thurazaz. That's the rune for thorn, for conflict. Think about that. He literally weaponizes the concept of denial. It's not just a passive no anymore. It's an aggressive, thorny force that actively creates conflict and rips things apart. So his new MO is to take any kind of order, any structure, reflect it back, and scream tyranny. He uses doubt like a literal acid, just dissolving consensus reality. He's not just denying things, he is pure, weaponized negation, a reality eater. And hey, just a quick but really important point from the text here. The Mephisto we're talking about, this is not your street-level Ali Mephistopheles or the bureaucratic Director M. No way. This is the Ur-God, the primordial archetype. We're on a completely different scale here. This is the cosmic original, and those others are just faint shadows. Okay, number 3 in Wotan's new court, the Uhrmacher, the clocksmith. This guy was a master craftsman, a smith god of precision. He once offered Wotan a clockwork heart that would beat just one time, but with the power of a supernova. Pretty cool, right?
Well, now he's the infernal engine, an architect of what you can only call ecstatic mechanics. Pure madness given gears and pistons.
And the transformation here isn't subtle at all. It's just raw, brute force. Wotan literally just pours pure, chaotic, violet gamma radiation straight into the clocksmith's gears. I mean, imagine pouring chaos directly into the engine of physics. What comes out the other side? It's not physics anymore.
So what does he do now? He builds these infernal machines that run on non-Euclidean logic, impossible shapes and angles. His devices don't measure time, they detonate it. He's the ultimate nightmare of technology with no moral compass, just pure, insane efficiency. And that makes him a direct rival to Derville's own mad architect side.
And that brings us to the fourth and final member of this chaotic quartet, Der Blaue Narr, the Sapphire Jester. He used to be the god of mockery. He'd use absurdity to just taunt people. But now, he's the sonic fracture. And his laughter, it's not a joke anymore. It's a weapon of mass destruction. Again, the method is so simple, so surgical. Wotan carves the rune Anzus, which means breath or signal, right into the jester's throat. Just think about that. A simple act that turns the very sound of laughter into a resonant frequency powerful enough to level cities. It's horrifyingly elegant. His new purpose is basically a twisted philosophical statement. He embodies destructive absurdism. His whole thing is to prove that if the universe is just one big, meaningless joke, then the only punchline that makes sense is violence. He wants to shatter everything with one great laughter. So, okay, we've met the new court. What does this all add up to? Well, Wokan hasn't just made 4 new bad guys. He's completely changed the game. And that brings us to part 3, the War of Three Fronts. This is a total fundamental shift in the cosmic balance of power. The one idea that ties all these new beings together is something called active nihilism. It's a pretty dark philosophy. Basically, it says if life has no inherent meaning, then the only thing left to do that has meaning is to actively destroy everything. Values, structures, reality itself. That is the ideology driving this new court of the Mad King. So you gotta ask the big question, right? What in the world does this mean for Derville? What is the new status quo for him? How is one entity supposed to deal with this onslaught of pure chaos? Well, this table really lays out the impossible bind he's in. On one side, you've got the pale cynic. That's passive nihilism. His goal is stagnation. He just wants the world to stop. Then, on the other side, you have the brand new court of the Mad King. They represent active nihilism. Their goal? Pure chaos. They want the world to burn. And who's stuck right in the middle of this cosmic tug-of-war? Derville. He is the dialectic, the force trying to create synthesis and balance. So now he's trapped, having to push back against the creeping fog of stagnation on one side, while trying to put out the raging fires of total destruction on the other. It's an impossible position.
So as Wotan just vanishes, leaving this chaos in his wake, his first words to us echo as the final challenge. He's given the children matches. The house is absolutely burning down. And the question that leaves us with is, can anyone possibly build a roof before the whole thing collapses into ash?